Hi guys, it is Tamara. Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about 6 ways to deal with emotional extortion. You know, on Monday I talked about some of the behaviors and the characteristics of individuals who are emotionally and psychologically abusing you just by having personal information about you. And so today we're going to talk about a couple of things that you can practice if you believe that you're the victim of emotional extortion. So thank you so much for coming back to my channel. For those who are subscribed and for those who are new, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button so you can stick around with us and become a part of our community. The benefits for you in today's video is that I'm going to be talking about 6 practical and very basic ways that you can deal with somebody who is trying to emotionally and psychologically dominate you. So let's just go ahead and jump in, okay? We don't need to delay any longer. I explained emotional extortion on Monday. I'm going to go ahead and explain it one last time. Emotional extortion is basically the process by which an individual uses blackmail, guilt, shame, or any other intense emotion against you to kind of hold you hostage, right? It's kind of a way that they dominate. It's a way that they've learned how to hit your button, you know? They've learned how to press the buttons that they need to press to manipulate you and dominate you and control you and really get you into a vulnerable place. Okay, so that's emotional extortion, but how do you deal with a person who's doing this, especially if this is happening in your family and if it's happening around holiday time when you're supposed to be a family and you're supposed to be healthy? So what do you do? Well, you know, I think I have a lot of videos and I'm going to go ahead and post them throughout this video up at the top here, and I'll post them down in the description box as I find them. On my channel, but I think I say this an awful lot on my channel and videos about manipulative people, and that's number 1 is set boundaries. When you can set boundaries, you can really protect yourself from a lot. You know, if you think about it, if you look at movies, you know, that involve romance or dating or kidnap stories or trafficking stories, or even if you look at real life trafficking stories, or you know, if you look at stories that involves a relationship that went wrong, you know, there's always an element of a loss of boundaries and structure that creates the problem. There's always someone in the relationship who either had boundaries and they fell, or they never had boundaries at all. And so without boundaries, you're not able to really protect yourself. You know, people who use emotional extortion against you, they kind of sit and listen. They listen. They want to know what's being said here. What information can I use? What does this mean? And as a matter of fact, people who use emotional extortion may actually be a sociopath or a narcissist. And because of that, they've kind of developed an intelligence of people. You know, there are some of my clients, and they've looked at me sideways when I say this, and I'll say, you know, narcissists and sociopaths really are socially intelligent. They may not necessarily be emotionally intelligent to a point of being able to empathize, but they're emotionally intelligent in the sense that they know what you want. And so when they know what you want, they know how to cause you to bring down your boundaries so you can give them what they want. And unfortunately, they're so skilled at this that it works. They win. And so really good movies have come up with that same plot. And really good movies show how that is done. You know, the person gains your trust, the person listens to you, the person buys you things, the person knows what hot buttons to push to get you to a place of submission. And then once they get that information, then their true colors come out. And if it doesn't happen right away, it usually happens at some point. All right. So I think my overall suggestion is set boundaries. If you set boundaries from the start, you do not have to worry about trying to put them in place later when it's going to be a little bit more difficult. And you also don't have to worry about making a terrible mistake with someone just because you forgot or you didn't put your boundaries up. Okay, so boundaries, set those boundaries. The next thing is keep proof of all your interactions. Now, things may be going well between the two of you, but if you have some kind of messy history with the person, or you don't trust them, or that person has a messy history with somebody else, you know, keep information, you know, keep the emails, keep the texts, keep the Snapchats, keep the Facebook posts. Don't delete. I think that you should always keep a record of your emails and your texts and your Facebook posts, your Snapchats. You never know when you might need them. I've been guilty in the past outside of my work, my personal life. I've been known to say, you know what, I don't need this, delete. Or I'll say, you know what, this is just taking up the memory on my email account. I think I'm just going to delete. And I hit delete, and then maybe a year later, I have the person say something like, do you remember when this happened? I was really mad about that. And I don't have anything to reference because I deleted it. I didn't think I needed it because the situation didn't come up right away. So you want to keep an email, even if you dedicate a little small folder in your email box or on your computer, or on your flash drive. You want to keep that information handy. Okay. Even if you don't think it's important, keep it. All right. All information is important. That's the way that I see it. All right. The next is never be alone with them. I think the worst thing that you could do with somebody who uses emotional extortion is to be alone with them. Their goal is to manipulate, dominate, and control. And they feel that you owe them. And so whatever they need to do, they're going to do. Whatever they're going to say, they're going to say. Whatever they're going to accuse you of, they're going to accuse you of. So you don't want to be alone with them. I think it's pretty common sense that if somebody's emotionally astute, in other words, they know what you want as somebody who empathizes and cares about other people, then you're in danger. So then you don't need to be in a place with them alone unless you have the ability to back things up, prove things, and prove them wrong. Okay. The next is watch what you say. I think it's going to be very important for you to watch what you say with somebody who engages in emotional extortion. I would not talk on the phone with them without somebody being in the background or on the other end. I would not text them without considering that they could send that text to multiple people, including your boss or people that that you want to see you a certain way or that you want to respect you. I think you also need to know that email can be tricky as well. I'm sure you know that. That if you email someone something, they can take that and manipulate it. They can manipulate your sentences, your paragraphs, your words, and put it together the way that they want. Or they can send and forward your emails. So be very careful what you say to them, okay? People who emotionally extort or people who emotionally abuse, they're always looking for some way to get over on you. And even though you may think that you've covered all the bases and you know what they're going to try, keep in mind that they're pretty smart, okay? So they know how to get over on you. They are career criminals, for lack of a better word. So they know what to do. They know what buttons to push. And again, most are sociopaths and narcissists. So to avoid, any kind of challenge that you don't need, don't be alone with them. All right. The next is move away. Move away from them, whether literally or not. Okay. Figuratively, literally move away. So move away may include not answering the phone. It may include blocking their phone number, not answering their texts, putting up those boundaries electronically, whatever you need to do. And if you have to physically move away, I think that's the best way to do it as well. All right. And last but not least, educate yourself to becoming aware. And, this may be an odd suggestion or a tip, but I often think that movies can be very educational. And there are some movies that are a waste of time, but there are also some movies that aren't a waste of time. And you can learn a lot from movies that, talk about or portray, I should say, relationships and connections and manipulation. And, if you watch a movie about a narcissist or a sociopath, it's kind of teaching you how they think. I've always seen movies through the lens of, if somebody could fantasize this and put it into a movie, somebody's capable of thinking and behaving this way. All right. If the person can write a script this good, they're capable of acting this way. And so are a lot of other people. And so, if you utilize movies and books and articles and, to educate yourself, I think that's the best way to do it. Educate yourself to becoming aware of who they are. The more you know about them, the less of a victim that you're going to be. Now, keep in mind that they are very smart in how they manipulate relationships. So you're not going to always be able to identify them, but you can at least educate yourself to them so you won't be in the dark as much. Thank you so much for being with me today, guys. I encourage you to give it a thumbs up if it was helpful to you, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I will actually see you on Friday. I'm going to talk about the differences between three terms that are used interchangeably and incorrectly. So I'm going to clarify that because somebody actually had a question about that, and I didn't get to it on my live chat, which you can find right up here from last week. So I'm going to be answering that on Friday, and then I will see you again on Monday. All right. Have a great week. Bye.